talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How you doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? The voice of the voiceless. Let's talk. I got a question for you, and I want your honest opinion in the comments. Do you believe, and I got this question from R.D. Bean, I believe he's retired. So he actually made a statement, and I felt like it's definitely a good statement. That's my opinion. I don't want to be subject to you guys giving an answer based off my opinion, but do you believe that at a station, the postmaster of each station or each group of stations should be an individual that actually worked their way from the bottom and carried mail versus someone that was a clerk? Not knocking the clerks, because their job is different specifics. But do you believe that the postmasters at a station should be somebody that used to be a mail carrier that worked their way up? Also, do you believe that the supervisors, as well as the supervisor of distribution, managers of distribution, except plan managers, should be individuals that work at the plant and have had experience in all aspects of plant operation? Do you believe that a supervisor of transportation, a manager of transportation, should be an individual that actually knows how to start a truck? Here's my thing before we jump into the real meat and potatoes of this video. I don't believe that they put the right people in place to manage other individuals. It's difficult for Jay to walk into a station and say, you know what? I believe that Jay has qualifications to be the Postmaster General of the postmaster of this group of stations, because I have never carried mail, nor was I a clerk. Do I know a general? Yeah, I know what they do, but I'm not qualified to manage a group of people unless the people up top only care about numbers. Because if that's the point, and they only care about numbers, then I no longer look at the human value of each and every employee. All I'm looking at is based off of numbers that are presented to me. And I say, I need to fulfill these numbers. That's just my opinion. What do you think? Do you believe that somebody that is up here above you, your superior, should have that knowledge? And if they make it to that, do you believe that they need to go through a skilled, qualified course on how to manage groups of individuals? Because each individual is just that, an individual. I got my own personality. I got my own personal problems. This one has her own personality. She got her own personal problems. It is difficult to manage 50, 60, 70 different personalities coming together unless you were trained properly. That is truth. That's truth. Now, if you're the owner of the company, you put people in place that are skilled in those areas. I can't go and get a building company because I got millions of dollars and go take my cousin that was a chef and say, hey, you know what? You're in charge of all the bulldozers over there. You're in charge of the carpentry department. See, I sound stupid talking about it, don't it? I hope I got my little point across in that. Me personally, I don't think they have the right qualified people in there. And I believe, again, my opinion is my opinion, that if they had more qualified people that were in place, that were able to relate to the real life scenarios of each and every one of you that deal with a different scenario, they would be able to identify when there's a real issue versus accepting the foolishness that comes down from the top. My old TANs manager had to step up and say, hey, nah, this ain't right. There was a scenario where they got different types of people and the truck drivers all across the country have to be tested and do this silliness with the safety and how to drive on the course and everything. Problem is, they want to give these people points on whether or not they do good or bad. My old TANs manager was a truck driver. He can visually identify if they're doing something wrong. But you put somebody in there that used to carry mail, or a clerk, I'm not knocking any craft, or a mail handler that has never been in a truck, can they identify what that truck driver's doing right and wrong? They can't. And when I heard him say he stood up, etc., I applauded him for that because I felt like it was about time. Hey, man, that doesn't even make no sense. He got people up top saying, well, this is what we're going to do. He's like, yeah, I don't think we should do that. That don't make no sense. And a lot of things that they do here don't make sense. But am I babbling? No. I'm just leading the build up. I'm giving you some talking points. If you're still watching, my man Tyler Vasor reached out to the old man, to the voice of the voiceless. I'm assuming that my man wants me, and he and I are going to chat it up a little bit. We're going to chop it up. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put out a little video because we need you, and you, all crafts to watch, because they are talking about building a fighting NALC because that's his craft. But we need to build to fight a better union overall for the rural carriers, for the APWU, for the letter carriers, etc. More transparency. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with what they've been telling me at the APWU. There are people that are still coming on here asking me, well, what about our contract? What about this? Which means they're not being fully, they don't have the full force of information that's being given to them saying, hey, well, you know what? We're doing all of this together. So with that being said, look out for it. He and I are going to chop it up. We're going to do a little interview. I'm going to make him say his piece. He going to make me say my piece. And together, we're going to get enough people on here so that you guys join carriers. Not my craft, but we going to make sure the voice of the voiceless gets you guys all together, because with your solidarity, with your uniformity, that you can be unified, can actually get some change done. Y'all got one of the weirdest presidents going on out there, and it's time that you guys get some answers. My opinion. Now, let's talk about Mr. DeJoy and this little clip I'm about to show you. I like how this lady drilled him. She drilled him. But she asked him some yes and no questions. As he started to speak, she kept talking over him, which I didn't really feel was fair. She said, well, do you know about Donner's Pass? I, as a truck driver that's driven all over the country, know about Donner's Pass. He don't know nothing about Donner's Pass. Well, do you know how many days it's going to be shut down a year? You know how many? So I don't think it was a real fair exchange, but overall, I like how she drilled him. Again, you guys determine how it played out if you're still watching. And let me know what you think. All right, this is JH. We're a little bit smidget. Tyler, we're going to chat in a little bit, brother.
I'm going to quote you, IG Hull. Every location has a story. You just said that. So I'm going to talk about the story of Reno, Nevada, Northern Nevada, Mr. DeJoy. I'm extremely concerned about your proposal to downsize the only postal processing and distribution center in Northern Nevada, one of only two in my entire state. Your proposed plan includes transferring mail processing operations from Reno out of state to California, which will negatively impact mail delivery service for Nevadans. Under your proposal, if one of my constituents in Reno were to mail a birthday card to her mother who lives on the other side of town, the letter is going to be driven 130 miles over to Sacramento, California, and then sent 130 miles back to Nevada to reach its final destination. And so I'd like to understand what analysis you undertook to conclude that moving mail processing from Reno to Sacramento would actually benefit Nevadans. Your staff has continued to assert that your plan won't undermine delivery standards for Nevada, but they haven't been able to explain how this is possible or provide me any of the data you've collected. And per what you just said, your team, they came and met with us, but they have not engaged with stakeholders in Nevada. I've talked to every one of our city councils. They have yet to receive data, and Senator Cortez Masto, myself, and Congressman Amodei didn't receive it either. So I'd like to ask you a few yes or no questions, please, because my time is limited. Mr. DeJoy, the Postal Service standard for receiving and delivering mail in the Reno area is 2 days. The Postal Service is already failing to meet this standard, with outbound mail and service in Reno currently averaging about 4 days. I point this out because in order to take local mail from Reno to Sacramento and back to Reno as you propose, your trucks will need to go through the Donner Pass. I hope you're familiar with that. It's on I-80. It's the only way to get through Reno to Sacramento, which is subject to some of the most extreme weather conditions in the contiguous United States, with over 33 feet of snow annually, 100-mile-per-hour winds, and treacherous conditions during wildfire season. So, Mr. DeJoy, yes or no, do you happen to know how many days per year, on average, the Donner Pass is closed due to extreme weather conditions?
Why would I know that?
Well, you're the Postmaster General, and you're saying that you're going to go over this. So let me tell you, there were 15 road closures for over 37 days of closures just last winter alone. So, yes or no? Before you proposed your plan to move out of Reno, did you collect data on the potential impact to mail service from severe weather conditions on Donner Pass? Yes or no, please?
Yes, within the organization, we
So
would have
can I
considered-
have that data? Your team has refused to give that to us. We are the Oversight Committee. I believe that the United States Congress has a right to this
I will give you
information.
the data that we have. I'll get with the team and
Thank
send you
you.
the data we have.
So how do you plan to get the mail? Maybe you want to tell us how you plan to get the mail from Reno to Sacramento and back to Reno when there's only one route. I say one route, I-80, to take that 260-mile round trip when it's closed on an average of 37 days per year.
Let me start with the fact that we're investing significantly in the Reno facility to repurpose it for what we feel is the modern day need for postal service. The mail that we're moving, only 10% of it. We're only moving.
So you want to
outbound-
sacrifice 10% of my folks in rural
We
Nevada.
don't
I've
think we'll
got,
sacrifice it.
I have rural Nevadans, veterans, and seniors that still rely on this. That 10%, if you're in the 10%, it's everything. So a standard contingency plan here, Mr. DeJoy, is not going to work. The extreme conditions in Sierra Nevada mountains require you to undertake an extensive analysis to ensure all Nevadans, even that 10%, get their mail on time. You don't get to sacrifice those living in my rural areas or subject to harsher weather in the name of cost savings. The Postal Service has an obligation to deliver to everyone. Let me ask you this. Before developing this plan to downsize the Reno facility and transfer operations to California, did you analyze how your proposed plan would impact Nevada seniors? And can you provide me that data here today? Yes or no, please?
We have a process to analyze the movement of mail and
Have you done one that would impact my Nevada
look
seniors?
at that. We treat every delivery point the same.
Do you have one for Nevada seniors? So you didn't look at how it would impact my seniors. That's unacceptable. If you did, I expect to see that data as soon as possible, hopefully by the close of business today, please. I believe that I have to assume the reason I don't have the data is because you instructed your staff not to provide it to me when we requested it last month.
I think that's very inaccurate and presumptuous.
It wasn't provided to me when I asked for it last month, and it wasn't provided when we asked for it last
I
week.
didn't direct my staff to do anything with regard.
Fair
In
enough.
fact, you've been briefed many times.
So
and your staff
what
has
about
been
the impact of your plan on Nevada's veterans? We have over 225,000 veterans in Nevada. Yes or no? Did you collect
veterans
data on
live,
the
they will
impact in
get
Nevada
their mail
veterans?
delivered. Wherever their veterans live, this should have no impact.
So will you provide me that data? Will you provide me the data? Because if you didn't have
We
it,
can provide our plan as to how
so
the
you
mail will be
didn't
transported.
specifically see how it would impact Nevada veterans. That's actually unacceptable to me as well. Again, asked this
If a veteran
information
lives
over
at
a month
delivery
ago.
point in Nevada, okay. we're
Nevada.
not-
It's Nevada, sir. Please say it correctly. It's Nevada.
If a veteran lives at a delivery point, our intention is to give him the mail in a timely service that we have.
You're
in
not
terms of
giving them in the
standard.
timely service now. So what makes you think
That's-
it's going to go in 4 days? I hope to see the data by the end of the day, please. Mr. DeJoy, an Inspector General audit showed that the Postal Service implemented the same changes to a data processing and distribution center in Virginia, and service performance was not even included as a measure of success. So this time around, did you conduct any analysis on how your proposed changes would impact mail delivery service, time specifically in Northern Nevada, yes or no, please?
Those are two separate operations and separate types of
So
transactions.
I'm assuming it's
Richmond-
no. So you didn't feel that you had a due diligence to understand how Nevada's senior citizens, veterans, small business owners, and rural communities who depend on the post office for their lives and livelihoods.
Senator, we intend to meet the service standards.
You're not meeting it now, and you've refused,
we'll
you have
intend to
not
meet the
provide
service
us the data of what you've made this assessment on. I hope to see that as quickly as possible.
What's up? Y'all saw that? Now that was long. That was long. You still watching? Good. Because in my video description, Miss Tina, her information is there. She dropped the old man off some t-shirts. She said, Mr. JH, can you show the people some of my new t-shirts? Huh? Postal worker? Huh? Do it in any weather? I don't know about all that. She got a warning. Overworked postal workers, annoy at your own risk. That's pretty cute. Pretty cute. Let's see what you got here. You don't have to be crazy to work at the post office, but we'll train you. I like that. Hey, she's silly. This is one I really liked. I like this one here as well. It says USPS, unappreciated, specialized, package servant. That's cute. That's my dog right there. She be coming up with some stuff. You can say mail carrier. I say mail escort. She is off the chain. These are good for like mail handlers and people on the weekends, but at least you have something to identify yourself with. Don't walk up to nobody's house if you don't have nothing to identify yourself with. I don't like that. People walking up to people's houses, rural carriers and stuff like that, and people getting pop because they don't got nothing to identify that they're postal workers. Mail escort, there it is. What else you got here? Plain gray. We got the plain gray. I like the plain gray. Got one more for the... She's creative. Okay, what y'all say? What life? I work for the post office. I know that's right. Listen, check her out. Video description. Text her, and she'll get back to you. She mails them all out to y'all. All right? This is JH. Y'all help yourself a blessed rest of your day. And we out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.